Yes.
You know, the trick that the church tries to play is that they own goodness and they own all the things that they do is like only you can get from them. But, you know, you can get all kinds of good stuff. Even if it's stuff the church does itself, you can find it in a good way on your own terms. It just doesn't come with all that creepy baggage.
Yes, you know? They do have monopoly on, you know, the Holy Ghost, the celestial kingdom, eternal families, eternal happiness, eternal salvation.
Dude, like the Holy Ghost is like really talked up and crap. That guy is a flake. Like as soon as like something starts happening where you're supposed to need him or whatever, he's like, yeah, I'm out of here. You know, he goes. It's like, you know, as soon as you get tempted, the Holy Ghost leaves. He's like, wait a second, you were supposed to hang around for the temptation to help me, but you're gone. Like he's a loser, man. Like I don't even. Who signs his paycheck? I don't think they even like pay attention to like what he's supposed to be doing. That he's coasting, man. He just like shows, and when he does do his job, he like doesn't. He's like, you know, it's like your job is to like warn people and stuff. Then like you get the bells out, you get the fire, the symbol or whatever, because you want to do your job well. Like he's like, no, I'm going to come and whisper. I got to whisper so softly.
Yes.
Like, he does it so quiet, he doesn't even have to show up. And then people are like, well, I thought it was, I don't know, it was the whispering. And like, you know, I think he hasn't even shown up for work in like the last 300 years. He's just like, yeah, it was a really still small voice. You know, it was probably smaller and stiller than you were listening. So it's really your fault. So, you know, take that.
Yeah, I did hear that. Yeah. I do know, you know, I did have a conversation with some non-evil apostates in my family, and they are very concerned about my salvation because I no longer will have the gift of the Holy Ghost. And I mentioned to them, I said, you know, did you know that 99.75% of the human population does not have the Mormon Holy Ghost? Because they have not been baptized into the Mormon church, and of those, only half of them are even actually active and, according to Mormon doctrine, worthy of the Holy Ghost. And I said, you know, that's not a very loving God to have something so important that everybody needs it, but only give it to like 1/4% of the human population that has ever lived on the planet that he loves so much that he died for.
Yeah, well, you know, that argument might work, but it's kind of, they're like, you know, they just like the smoke being blown up their butt by the idea that they have some sort of special blessing from the Holy Ghost. You know, you just like, you know, tell them back in the 1960s and the 1940s, and like even back in Joseph Smith's time, like the 1830s or whatever, you know, the Quakers didn't have like the gift of the Holy Ghost, but they knew that slavery and racism were wrong. And they like risked their lives for that. And so like if you didn't have to have the Holy Ghost to know that all that racist crap that's part of the early Mormon church was wrong, well then, you know, the Holy Ghost really is kind of like, it's just this made up construct intended to have people, you know, feel important and smell their own farts and crap, you know. So it's okay. You tell them, I'm sure your farts smell good. Keep sniffing them. And I'm going to be over there with the people who were listening to their conscience and following what's true, regardless of whether or not their farts smelled or whatever.